YouTube is Wolfenbull Development, and this is my 199th weekly update. So this week went pretty okay. Basically, actually it went pretty damn good, actually, now that I think about it. My pressing movements, I've had to take it back, kind of back off on them a little bit, just because everything was just way too taxed. I unfortunately did not hit my goal of 330 by like 2 weeks ago. It's just happened. It is what it is. I was still able to hit a 320 bench with essentially no assistance. And I say essentially, somebody's hands were on the bar. I don't know how much they lifted. They said they didn't, so I have to take their word for it, but I'm going to say basically 315 is what I hit. No question, but I believe I am capable of a 320. All that being said, I've had to sort of back off a little bit because it's just been upper body pressing movements have just been taxed to shit, and they're just beaten. Triceps are beaten, elbows hurt, chest hurts, everything is in pain. So I was like, all right, it's time to back off and do sort of a mini deload. So I've been sort of doing sets of 6 with not too heavy of weights, somewhere around like 245, things like that. Nothing I can't handle, but just reps and reps of that with slightly lower weight, just to keep things moving and reinforce the pattern while also giving it a little rest. Also took the opportunity to sort of figure out my numbers that I'm going to be starting with, because for the next 6 weeks, once the squat routine starts in August, I'm going to be doing nothing but seated press, which is generally a accessory movement to your overhead press, your standing overhead press, but I haven't done a lot of them, like really ever. So I wanted to sit down, literally, and figure out what kind of numbers I should be working with, and I got a rough idea from Thursday's pressing workout, and I'll figure out more next week, and it'll put me in a good position. And then that last week, just before the Russian squat program, it's going to be a sort of a, I don't want to say relaxed week, but it's going to be sort of a back-off week where, things I'm just going to be sort of relaxing into things, not really trying to push any new PRs of anything, just in preparation for the new training block. That'll entail that. But in that block, I'm going to be doing minimal benching and a lot of seated overhead pressing, because I feel like it's going to benefit me in the long run, which is what I'm looking for. And we'll go from there. But notable mentions this week, I was able to finally hit I hit 385 again on Thursday, which I wanted 390, got 385, and still managed to keep it all pretty tight. The one form issue I'm having is my right arm keeps kind of going under the bar. The bar sort of rolls. It's more like sliding down my back just ever so slightly, especially with the heavier weights, and it's causing my hand to support some of the weight, and that's really fucking up my elbow and my shoulder. And it's one of those things that I've been able to correct on the lighter weights, but on the heavier weights it's sort of kicking my ass. Like I did my 350, I did a 355, I think. Or just a 350, I went from 350 to 385. And the 350 was fucking perfect. I was able to keep my hands right where they needed to be. No pain in the elbow or the shoulder from that. Then the 385, I did feel some pain, and I said, you know what, there's no reason to push it right now, especially walking into the squat routine. I'm still going to call 390, because I know I could get it, but it wasn't worth potentially damaging the shoulder or the elbow anymore. So I was happy about being able to consistently get that higher number again, with no pain in my, quads or knees or anything like that. My hip that I've torn before, and my right knee, which is troublesome. No pain in either one of those, so I'm going to call that a win. And I was finally able to, today I pulled 405 for the first time in like months, which it's crazy how my deadlift kind of went up for a little bit and then shot right back down. I think it was a combination of things between the hip tear, the training for that comp where I was doing some more elevated deadlifts, and then just fatigue wearing me down, and changing my form on a lot of things too. But I think in the long run it's worth it. So I was able to pull that 405 a lot smoother than I pulled one in the past, and a lot more tight. So 430 is my actual max on a deadlift ever, like lifetime PR, but I haven't hit that in a while, and that one wasn't as clean as it could have been. Back was a little curved near the top, so it's one of those things where, of quality over quantity right now, and I'm totally fine with that. Deadlifts, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to work that into the Russian program. It's probably still going to be a once a week thing. I might even try doing twice a week, but just doing like baby weights for a while. You know, something like 70 to 80%, and then just maybe 5 pounds every week, sets of 5 kind of thing, you know, and just see how that feels. That'll get me a little more comfortable with doing rep work at a slightly heavier weight, which seems to be my problem right now. Made a good call in only doing 3 reps at 315 when I normally would do 5. I just called it at 3 and I was like, that's enough. And then instead of doing 2 at like 365, I just did the 1 and then pulled 385, and that was easy-ish. And then I was like, I need to hit 400 again because I haven't hit it in a while, which is like 94% max, I think, or 93%. So it's good to be getting closer to it, especially with it being cleaner. And then, notable one is my pull-ups. My pull-ups have just shot up recently. I actually do pull-ups on a fat bar because that's what we have at the gym, and it's a little more grip training that way. And I started doing some weighted ones, and I train pull-ups twice a week, once on Monday, which is like my back day right now, and then again on Friday, which is my deadlift day. And I sort of the routine I've been doing is I do weighted ones on Monday where it's a lot of back work. It's just back, whether it's hamstrings, glutes, anything that's on the back of your body other than triceps, I'm going to be working that day. If it's pulling or it's on your back, I'm working it. And I think that's helped me because I was able to hit 10 reps on pull-ups unweighted on Monday, and that made me feel good. And then Friday, today, I just did 5 sets of 10 unweighted, and there was like one set where I got my 9 and it, you know, I just slipped and I was like, damn. And then the next 3 or 4 sets I was able to figure out the proper grip that I should be taking, that kind of thing, and cranked them out. You know, other than the last set where the last couple are, you know, probably not the greatest, but, you know, the work's getting done, that kind of thing. And I think that's what I'm going to keep running with. And the idea, we got it from one of my training partners, Dave. He sort of had the idea, that's where I got it from. I don't know where he got it from. He might have got it from somewhere. But basically have a set amount of pull-ups you want to do in one day and just go for that. And so I started at 30, and then what happened was just trying to beat my reps with the weights on Monday. I ended up at like 40-something. I think I had like 48, and I was like, well, shit, I might as well just do 2 more empty and just call that 50, and then just say I'll do 50, and then, you know, in a couple weeks or months, I might bump that up to like 60 or something in a day. But all I'm trying to do is make it in less less sets. So ideally, I would be able to do like 25. If I could do 25 with no weight, it's too light. So it's going to be basically, now that I know I can do 10 sets, or 5 sets of 10 with no weight, I'm probably going to just throw the 25 on there and just work that until I can do that, you know, sets of 10 as my Friday workout. And then Monday will just be the pyramiding up and then pyramiding back down, programming while still trying to hit those 50 reps in the least amount of sets as possible. So all in all, a pretty good week. Shoulder pain is diminishing, elbow pain and pushing pain is going down. I can finally kind of like hold that position without a shit ton of pain in that arm. It's like a 3 now instead of like a 6 all the time. So things are getting better. And that's all we strive for, right? Just getting stronger and better. If that's not what you're striving for, then what's your excuse?